Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hope you are having a lovely Thursday evening and just trying to get the winding down for the weekend. So, before we let you go and have your awesome freedom, we're going to work on factoring trinomials. So, yesterday we did a algebra review, and I noticed a lot of us was having trouble with that factoring trinomial. So we're going to kind of work on that and also take a look at when we actually have a GCF and we have to factor that bad boy out. So what we're doing is we're looking at when our leading coefficient, which we'll all know as our A, we want to know when it is equal to 1. And I'm going to say and. We're going to look at our GCF. Okay, so if you are planning on taking your GED, you are planning on taking the ASVAB or the Accuplacer, maybe even the IBEW, which is for the electrician's apprenticeship. If you're thinking of taking your TEAS test, any kind of nursing program, maybe high school equivalent, it doesn't have to be GED, it could be whatever letter of the alphabet that they're using. This is the live for you. If you're a homeschool parent or a homeschooler and you're getting yourself into the polynomials, and now we're going to be looking at factoring, this is the live for you. All right, so as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and get started with the tap and the tap taps. And then we're going to get ourselves situated. We have roughly like 1 hour to break down concepts. And this is a place for you to ask your questions. This is going to be a safe space. And this is especially for those that, math is not your strong suit, but you always wanted to be good at it. This is also the platform for you. So come on in, go ahead, get yourself nice and comfy as we're going to go into factoring trinomials when A is equal to 1. All right, Alessandra, welcome on in. I see Isaac came in for a little bit. AC Laughter, thank you so much for stopping on in. Thank you guys so much for the tapping. Ray, yes, I did just start. Yes, we had a late evening. I had a late client from the other side of the state. So, yes, I had to have a late start. So you're good. Now you can breathe. Ready for more entertainment. Burley boy, how you doing? Thank you so much for checking in. Okay, anyone else that is following me, make sure you hit the orange heart, which is right next to my name. So the ACG Math Tutoring, of course, so we can get you guys checked in. And the more of the tips of the taps, the more we can get more people from the FYP to come on in and say, ooh, this is it. And the more of the tips of the taps, the more we can get more people from the FYP to come on in and say, ooh, this is exact. Let's take a look at factoring. So we are looking at what's called standard form. I'm going to put it over here. So with standard form, we have it in ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so we have everything, a number that has A, B, and C. Majority of the time, we never want to have A equal 0. Not a good look. It could be a positive number. It could be a negative number. So I'm going to show you, it's roughly called the AC method. But since A is going to equal 1, it's not going to kind of throw things off. But it may help us, especially getting to know our multiplication as we break down concepts. So let's take a look at first example. So if I have x squared plus 5x minus 36. Okay, we are not solving this because we don't have an equal sign. Okay, if we had an equal sign, we'd be solving. We are factoring. We're trying to break it down into two workable parentheses. Okay, it's almost like Jeopardy. You know, with Jeopardy, your answer is in the form of a question. So we're basically trying to find the original two binomials, if I multiply together, will give me this x squared plus 5x minus 36 as a result. So we're just basically doing the distributive property in reverse. So first, I take a look in the beginning. My a, okay, it's always the coefficient of your x squared, is a 1. So when it's a 1, I can automatically go and split my x's. Okay, so I'm going to put 1x in one parenthesis, 1x in another parenthesis. So in order for me to figure out what else goes inside that parenthesis, what I'm going to do is, and I like to draw a cross. And what I'm going to do is I'm looking at multiplying my a value and my c value, and I'm going to rewrite my b value. So as we take a look, my a here, if I don't see anything, it's assumed to be a 1. My b is always the coefficient of my x, which is a positive 5. And my c is also the constant, which is a negative 36. So if I multiply this 1 times negative 36, I'm going to get a negative 36. And my b is always the coefficient of the x. So that's going to be a positive 5. Now this is the part that is the hardest, okay? We need to think what two numbers multiplied together will give me negative 36, and those same two numbers added together will give me 5, okay? Nope, you're just in time. We just got started. All right. We just got started. We're not going to freak out. So JBB is saying 9 and negative 4. Okay, thanks so much for the follows, guys. Okay. I can do rational functions, but we're not doing that tonight. Okay. But if you hire me as a tutor, I can definitely break down those radical functions. Not a problem. Okay, so yes, this is the part that always confuses a lot of people, because it really hits hard with knowing your multiplication as well as where to put the negatives if you need them. Well, since this is a negative number, I know through multiplication that one number has to be positive, one number has to be negative. And it all depends on which one is going to take that negative, because I'm going to need to get a positive 5 out of it when I add them together. Now, this is the reason, because a couple of my students were struggling with this. And this is what sparked me to do this notebook. So we're looking for multiples or factors of negative 36. So if I look at here at 36, let's see if I can see that. Okay, so 36 is right here in the blue. So I notice that for 36, I have 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, and 6 and 6. So if since it's going to be negative, that means I'm looking at subtraction. Which of these, if I subtract it, will give me a 5? Okay, so a couple of you. All right, so JBB said 9 and negative 4. Okay, we're going to work with that. Is that Chili said 9 and 4. Okay, Big Al said 4 and 9. 4 now. Hi, Jess. Been a minute. How you doing? Okay, we got 4 and 9 with Hop. We got Mary with 4 and 9. Angela 4 and 9. Yoba is 9 and 4. 4 and 9. Hottie Ice, how are you? Rian saying negative 4 and 9. Okay. So that's what we're going to use. So if we have our 4 and we have our 9, Now, one of them has to be negative. If I made the 9 negative, remember the scenario. If I borrowed $9 and I paid back 4, that means I still owe $5. So that would be a negative 5. But we're not looking for a negative 5. We're looking for a positive 5. So that's why the 4 is going to be the one that's going to carry the negative. Because 9 times negative 4 gives me negative 36. And 9 plus negative 4 gives me a positive 5. If I have $9, I spent 4, I still have $5 left. Okay? Now, these numbers that we found, these factors, we're going to put them each inside of a parenthesis. So we can put the minus 4 here and the positive 9 there. If you put x plus 9 here and then x minus 4 there, you can do that as well. Okay, multiplication is definitely commutative, so we're good to go. So is this our answer? Yes, it is. So that is factored. Now, for my GED people, that's a 4-point question. When they ask you to factor, that's a 4-point question. If you can just understand enough to get one of those bad boys right, and then get one with slope, and possibly get one with system of equation, or if you feel really good with the factoring and you're able to get the factoring done and put some of the fractions and some of the decimals, get some of those answers, you'll be able to pass. You can't skip slope, equation line, point slope, system of equation, okay, factoring, volume. You can't skip those and expect to pass. You're not going to pass if you skip those. I'm going to let you know right here and now, okay? All right. All right, well, thank you. Okay, good. So let's try another one, okay? And if you don't get this, and you're probably saying to yourself, Audrey, I kind of get it. Well, this is the first example. Relax. You haven't seen this since you were a fetus, okay? Let it go, all right? But if you want to see, remember, if you go here, type in this, okay? Do me a favor and do these, all right? I have a playlist that says TikTok Lives. All of my lives, including the ones from yesterday, is all in that playlist. It's like over 200 videos right now by now. It's crazy, right? Okay, so you have a place to go if you need to rewatch all of these lives, all right? So you have something. So I'm going to take this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Hey, Danny. I know, right? Seriously, it's been many moons since you've seen it. And you probably didn't understand it then, but that's all right. We're going to learn it now. So here we go. So let's do x squared plus 11x plus 30. And I'll try to leave the other one up there a little bit. You got a promotion today? Congratulations. Good job. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. There was a question. So sorry. If you add the -9 at the front and the +4, would it be the same? Yes. So -9, whoa. Not -9, because -9 plus 4 will give me -5. We need a +5. So that will not be the same. I thought you meant if you put it in the opposite way. So if you put x plus 9 here and then x minus 4 there, that's fine. But if you flip the signs, you're not going to get this number for b. You're not going to get that. Okay? All right. Almost got me there. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, so our leading coefficient is 1. Okay, our leading coefficient is 1. So anytime I hear factoring, Always take a look to see if we have a GCF, which we don't. My leading coefficient is 1, so right away I can split my x's. So now, here we are with the cross. I'm doing my A and my C up top, and my B value down the bottom. And if you're like, okay, what's A and C? Let's see if I can grab my highlighter. There we go. Okay, so this is standard form. Okay, that's standard form. So notice the A is in front of your x squared, your B is in front of the x, is the coefficient of the x, and the C is the constant. So for over here, our A is going to be 1, our B is going to be 11, and our C is going to be 30. Now, if you need to write it off to the side, do so. Okay, so my A, 1, my B, 11, my C, 30. If that helps you to keep things together, do it. Okay? Now, we want to multiply our A and our C. Our A is 1, our C is 30. So not to insult your intelligence, 1 times 30, that gives me 30. And then you're going to rewrite the B, which is 11. So now we have to think. Yes, Anthony. Okay, now we have to think. What two numbers multiplied will give me 30, and add the same two numbers, add together to give me 11. So mom power, the 1 is what's in front of the x squared. If you don't see a number in front of a variable, you always assume it's a 1. Okay, that's where that came from. Okay, so right now we're factoring. So I'm seeing 5, I'm seeing 6 and 5, 6 and 5, 5 and 6. Good, 5 and 6. Hello, Kesh. Okay, 6 and 5, 5 and 6. We see a 6, 5 and 6. Mark Taylor, 5 and 6. I'm not sure what that says. 5 and 6. Angela, 6 and 5. Danny, Jess, 5 and 6. Okay. All right. So we're also going to factoring. All right. And yes, this is algebra. Yes, it is. 5 and 6. We had so from earlier. Celia said 5 and 6 earlier. Good job, guys. And Angela, I see you're 5 and 6 from earlier. Okay. Oh, Kia, 5 and 6. All right. And who else did I miss? H-Town. H-Town, you said 5 and 6 early on. Good job, guys. You guys are doing all this. All right. So both of them are going to be positive. You can say 5 and 6. You can say 6 or 5. Because either way, 5 times 6 gives me 30. 5 plus 6 gives me 11. So I can put a positive 5 and a positive 6. And this is your answer. And as I said before, if they're flipped around, that's perfectly fine because multiplication is commutative. Okay? No sway, it's not. So, all right. And baby, 15 and 2, that does multiply to give us 30. But 15 plus 2 does not give us 11. So we're using the same two numbers to get us that. Okay? All right, so we're factoring. We are factoring like champs here. So let's see if we can get a couple more. All right. Okay, let's see if we can build up our skills. Let's see if you can do this one by yourself before I take it up a slight notch. Let's see what you can do. Okay, give me the parentheses. Multiplication is up top, addition's at the bottom. Okay, what grade is this made for? It's algebra. There's some kids I know that's in the 6th grade that's taking algebra. So this is like considered like algebra 1. Okay, we're not doing completing the square. Okay, how do you see this now? Okay, so AC is your multiplying. You're multiplying your A value and your C value, and then you're rewriting your B. So AC means A times C. Okay, so it's multiplication at the top. So Cynthia, the other way around. Multiplication at the top, addition at the bottom. Okay. All right, sure. Okay, so I'm seeing some 8 and 2s. I'm seeing some 8 and 2s, 8 and 2s, 8 and 2s. I'm seeing 2 2s. Okay. Hey, cutie. How are you? All right. So I'm seeing some 2 and some 8s and some 8s and some 2s. All right. You're completing the square method. I'm not doing completing the square tonight. This is what I'm learning now. I just have trouble when I'm doing each formula. Okay. All right. So if you want, you can hire me up for a tutor. I can do it. I'm finding the right numbers. Now, learning now, that's true. But if you're taking the GED, ASVAB, Accuplacer, you cannot use a calculator. So that's why I do a lot of this stuff by hand. Trust me, if I could use a calculator, this live will be literally 20 minutes long. Okay? So, because if you're going to take those assessments, you have to practice like you're taking the assessment. Okay? It's just like an athlete. You always got to put yourself in game mentality when you're practicing. Because if not, you're just going through the motion. Never works. All right. Leading coefficient is 1. So right away, I can split my x's. There's 1x there. There's 1x there. Now, I'm going to draw a cross. Within that cross, I'm going to have my AC at the top. And I'm going to rewrite my B at the bottom. So if I need to, I can label what my A and my B and my C is. So it all goes back to this standard form. Your A is always in front, the number that's in front of the x squared. The B is always in front of the x. And the C is your constant. So for this example, my A is what's in front of the x squared. If we don't see anything, we assume it's A1. My B is what's in front of the x. It's a positive 10, so we just write 10. And my C is my constant, which is a positive 16, which I can just simply write 16. So if I multiply my A and my C, I will get 16. Okay, rewrite the B, which is 10. So now, the hardest part of all this. We need to figure out what two numbers multiplied will give me 16 and add together to give me 10. And like most of you guys found, excellent, Peter, you have your 8 and your 2, or you said your 2 and your 8. Either way will work, because remember, multiplication is commutative. So 2 times 8 and 8 times 2 will give you the same thing. So 8 times 2 gives me 16. 8 plus 2 gives me 10. So these two numbers that we found, which is the 8 and the 2, we're going to separate them inside the parenthesis. Both of them are positive, so I can write a plus 8 and a plus 2. And now this is factored. Okay. Studying for the T's, excellent. Okay, you get it now, Angela? Awesome. Yes, this will definitely be on there. Good. Okay, you're learning this now? Great. Okay, you're studying for the ASVAB. Awesome. I love how to see all these people that are getting themselves ready for something, which is awesome. And if you're here, you're like, you know what? I always just wanted to be good at math and I just want to sit and relax because it seems very soothing here. Welcome. For once, you're going to take math, and that's what you have to do. You can't learn when you're stressed. You can't learn when you're stressed, okay? So if we can do a quick math tap real quick, I will greatly appreciate this. What topic am I on? It's factoring trinomials when our A value is 1, and we're also going to do the GCF. I tried to be soothing. Okay, you have your Accuplacer on Monday? Awesome. Awesome. If you want to go over some things just to do some tweaking, just let me know because I'm available 7 days a week. I know. I'm one of those crazy tutors that's like, yep, I'm always here. All right. Okay. I can do polynomials, but I'm not doing polynomials tonight. Tonight's only focus is factoring trinomials. Okay. Now, if anything, Apple user, where have you been? So, but if anything, if you guys go here and you go here, do me a favor, you can do all 5 of these. And if anything, look for the TikTok Lives playlist. I have definitely done adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing polynomials. So if you do a search in there, take a look at those videos, okay? They're all there. Because I've definitely done it more than twice that I know of. I do personal online sessions. Yes, I do. Okay, where I've been all your life? I have no idea. Okay, so it's all based on topics. Okay, and a lot of the stuff that you guys have for your TEAS tests and your HESI test and all that, especially the algebra component, it's the same no matter where you go. The GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, all that. Okay, I'm going to take this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, excellent. Can we get to 25 while I'm setting up the next one? Okay, you're taking, wow. Yes, I'm taking ATSI since I haven't been in school since 2014. And that's all right, Desiree. The fact that you're doing it, I'm very proud of you. Same with you, Diamond. Same with everyone. Now, if you guys also need assistance with your doses calculations, make sure you guys follow a blessed RN. Okay, a blessed RN. Okay, I'll try to put it in the chat because she's phenomenal with that. Okay, so, all right, add for middle term, multiply for last term. Yes, so the first and the last you multiply, because the reason why I want to keep with that pattern, because eventually it doesn't matter if you have a positive or a negative or a number bigger than 1 or less than 1, you can still do this process. Okay, you can still do this process, so it continues on. Okay. Hey, Ms. Thank you for sharing. Not a problem. Okay, everybody wants to get their GED. Hey, if you keep working at it and you keep watching my stuff, because this summer we had, 5 people that passed, and then I lied. The beginning of this month, we had 2 more people that passed their math GED. And that's the one that everyone freaks out about. So you can watch, ask questions, pay attention, okay? And then you'll be able to get it done. All right, thank you, my babies. I appreciate you. All right, so let's do 1 more or 2 more. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, we can do this one. We have our x squared minus 8x minus 20. So I'm taking it up a little bit of a notch. Just a little bit of a notch. Same process. Only thing, watch your signs. Okay, same process. Okay, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. So we got 2, 3 different types of answers so far. Okay. I love when people are like, I'm making my daughter watch right now. Erica! Should have known it was you. All right, so I am seeing, okay, there's 3 different types of answers right so far. I'm seeing 10s and 2s, 2 and 10, negative 10 and 2, 4 and 5, negative 10 and 2. I'm seeing quite a few of those. Okay. 2 and negative 10. Okay, we switched up. Okay. 3 factorial. Nice. Yeah, just not this one though. I'm really impressed you got that down. All right, so negative 10 and 2, 2 and negative 10. Because a negative and a positive makes a negative. Okay. My whole garden, black and white garden that I see here, we got negative 10 and 2. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. Leading coefficient is 1. So when the leading coefficient is 1, we can set up our 2 parentheses and split our x's. Okay. Hey, Michael. Thanks for checking in. All right. So now, here I go with my cross. So we have our AC, and we rewrite our B. Okay. If we're not sure what's what, we can list it. So remember, your A is what's in front of the x squared, which is a 1. It's always assumed to be there. My B is a negative 8. And my C is a negative 20. So we multiply the A and the C. That's why you see AC. Okay, it's not just because it's my initials, because that's what it is. So that gives us a negative 20. And we rewrite the B, which is a negative 8. Okay. So what 2 numbers multiplied? Let's see if I can get this. So what 2 numbers multiplied to give me a negative 20 and add to give me a negative 8. So a lot of you guys noticed that 10 and 20 could be great. Since this is negative, that means one of these numbers will have to be negative. And since this is negative, that means we want the largest number to carry the negative sign. So it'll be negative 10 times 2 gives me negative 20. Negative 10 plus 2 gives me negative 8. You owe me $10. You paid me $2. You still owe me $8. Where my money? Okay, good, miss. To multiply and subtract. So Mary Jane, that's a great question because of your multiplication table. So if anything, shameless plug, that's what started this whole thing of this notebook. A lot of my students struggled. So I know if I'm looking at what multiplies to give me negative 20, I'm going to 20. We can worry about the signs in a moment. So I have 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. And I need to know which one, since we're dealing with a negative, which one's going to give me a negative 8. So, well, I know if I add them together, they're not going to give me 8. But I know if I subtract them, this one's going to give me an 8. So I'm looking at 2 and 10. So then I have to figure, all right, which one's going to be the negative? It's going to be the negative 10. So to finish out, these 2 numbers that we found is going inside the parentheses. So this will be x minus 10, and this will be x plus 2. Now, if you said x plus 2 first and then x minus 10 next, that's perfectly fine, okay? Because remember, multiplication is commutative. All right. How are we feeling? Okay. Oh, well, thank you. But again, if you guys see anybody else that needs a tutor, right now is the perfect time to get me. I take, well, 7th grade up to adults. That's what I take, okay? I can't do, one of my former students asked me today, like, Miss Audrey, I need for you to work with my child with their math. I'm like, wait, how old's the child? Talking about 3 years old. Man, and that is not me. And then, of course, I made the joke, and your baby? Oh, hell no. I know how you were when you were in class. It was a great moment. Oh, my goodness. What is up with everyone asking me about polynomials? No. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Go here. Type in this. Do these 5 things. And in the search engine, you'll see TikTok Lives. It's a playlist. Click on that. Type in what you're looking for polynomials. Are you adding polynomials, subtracting polynomials, multiplying polynomials, dividing polynomials? Type that in. Do a search. The videos will pop up. Then enjoy. Okay? But tonight, we're just doing factoring, my babies. I appreciate you. Okay? Yes, this is standard 4, Jan. Yes, thank you, thank you. I know, 3. I know, right? 3. What are we doing? I'm like, you trying to put him in Harvard already? Good God. But anyway, I got him on the right track, so I think he'll be all right. Okay. Let me try one more before we flip the script. I think you got it. I want you to feel confident. All right. So try this one. This is the last one from this, and then I'm going to take it another notch. I'm going to add it up. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not redoing a problem. Okay, I'll try to leave the previous problem up so you can use it as a guide. Okay, why would you want to do all of that? Just factor, man. just factor. I love, when advanced people come in. I appreciate you. But I'm like, you don't have to do all that. It's really not that serious. Okay? Keep it simple. Liberal arts recursive problem. Actually, the factor J-I-N, the diamond method is the fastest. Knowing your multiplication table, you get through it so much quicker. Because sometimes you don't even have to do the diamond or the cross. Sometimes if you just know, all right, what two numbers multiplied together will give me negative 20 and add to give me negative 8. If you know your multiplication, you don't have to do this part. I just do this part to help people focus on what they're doing. Okay? Yep. Shells, I got you. Okay. No, I'm not going to do multi-step equations next. It's all factoring. It's all about factoring. It's all integrals. Okay. No, it doesn't look crazy. Take it step by step. Yep, you can give answers. You can put it right in the chat. How to find the scale factor of a shape? I do, but I'm not doing geometry tonight. Well, thank you, Desiree. Okay. I appreciate that, Angela. That's what I tried to do. Okay. So I'm seeing 4s and 6s. I'm seeing -8s and 3s. I think I saw -8s and 3s. I saw a couple 8s and -3s. I think that's that. Okay, so I have a -8 and 4. Yep. And if you don't understand, go ahead and put a question mark. At least you're participating, you know? Go ahead and put a question mark if you don't know. There's no judgment here. Yeah, I don't know pattern factorials. That is definitely not me. All right, thank you for your honesty, guys. Ashton, appreciate that. Ashton's mommy. Fitness, yes, good. The graphing rationals, all I'm doing is factoring tonight, my doves. That's all I'm doing. If you want a tutoring session, just reach out to me. Okay, Fatima saying -8 and 3. Okay, Sweet Wonder, thank you for the love. All right, so let's take a look. My leading coefficient is 1. So right away, I got my 2 parentheses going, and I'm splitting my x's. I got 1x here and 1x there. So now I need to figure out what 2 numbers, because I'm going to multiply my a and my c. So my a is always what's in front of the x squared, which is a 1. My b is what's in front of the x, which is a -5. And my c is the constant, including that sign, which gives me a -24. So if I multiply my 1 and the -24, I get -24. And I rewrite the b, which is a -5. So we have to ask, what 2 numbers multiplied together will give me a -24 and add together to give me a -5. Okay. All right. So this is why a lot of people were saying 8 and 3, but we have to figure which one is going to carry the exponent, or which one, the exponent, the negative sign. All right. Because since we have a -24, one of these have to be negative, because a negative times a negative times a positive is a negative. But we want something, when you add them together, it's going to give me that -5. That's why a lot of people were saying, make the 8 negative. If you owe me $8 and you gave me $3, that means you still owe me $5. Give me my money. All right. So the numbers that we're going to use inside the parenthesis is a -8 and a +3. And this is your answer being factored. Okay, well, thank you, empty room. I appreciate it. I hope your room is full instead of empty. All right. Oh, thanks, Michael. Okay, makes sense now. Good. Good, living my life. I love that. I do know about perfect square trinomials. Yes. Be lovely to get some love. So we miss Jess. All right. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. I appreciate this. I really do. All right. Marilyn, you said, so when I do a quadratic equation, I do AC method first, and the factor by grouping, you can do one of the other, okay? Because I know some teachers would like to do this instead of the AC method. They would like the numbers that they have here, they would rewrite this whole expression and replace the -5. So let me show you as a little side thing, because some people do it that way. Okay. So after we found the factors, this is what a lot of people do. They'll do the x squared, but they'll say minus 8x plus 3x minus 24. So instead of the AC method, there are people that would like for you to do it using grouping. That means putting it into 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, because I do want to respect what some teachers do. So what they do by grouping, they group the first 2, then they group the last 2 numbers. So then they find the GCF of each one, right? So they will take the x out, and then what's left, if I had 2 x's here, I take 1 out, that means there's 1 left. I have -8x. We have 1x, we took 1x out, there's no x's left, just the -8. Then we have this +3, so since it's positive, you keep the plus sign. 3 and 24, what they have in common is 3. So now you're dividing everything in this parenthesis by 3. 3x divided by 3 gives me 1x, or I could just simply put x. And -24 divided by 3 gives me a -8. So when you're doing grouping, your 2 parentheses should be exactly the same. So if they are exactly the same, that's your GCF of that line. So you just have to rewrite that once, and then what remains outside the parenthesis, put them in its own parenthesis. So if you notice, I think I can fit everything in here. Well, maybe not. So hopefully you can notice that you get the same answer. Okay? No matter what, you get the same answer. I know. All right, you're welcome, Marilyn. All right, well, thank you, A. Renee. Yeah, when A is greater than 1, you can use grouping, or you can also do AC method. Now, if you want the full version of AC method when your A is not equal to 1, again, I know it's a shameless plug. Okay, go here, type in this, and if you can, do these 5 things for me. But there is a playlist that says TikTok Lives. If you just do a search of factoring trinomials, you'll see, I want to say like there's probably 2 videos on there. Okay, and I never teach it exactly the same. It's always depending what questions are coming up. It also depends on the day. So, but I never use the same exact questions over and over again, even though you might see multiple videos with the same title or close to the same title. Okay. All right. Okay. Nope, I'm not doing quadratic formula. So, now, all these requests, there's really sweet. I love that you guys are coming in. You're feeling comfortable. But again, it takes me, I sit here and I do all this planning. It doesn't just come off the top of my dome. So when I do my lives, I plan them out. So if you want me to do something very particular, I do have a tutoring service, okay? And I do have openings, and they are a paid event. Okay, so if you want that, just reach out to me. I'll see if I can take a look at my messages tonight, and I might be able to fit you in before midnight. Okay? All right. Okay. Yes, you can. And I'll go through the books in a moment. Can I see the UR? What's the UR? Ah! I'm assuming it's this. Okay. Okay. So statistics is not my jam. If you guys are asking about statistics or calculus, that is not me. I'm going to let you know right here now. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. So if you want any of these services, I also have courses. So if some of you guys are thinking about getting your GED and you're like, ugh, I don't know if I want to go to a class or if I can get something a little more convenient, I have these courses ready to go. Okay, we have GED, ASVAB, Accuplacer. Now, T's, you can look at the foundation of algebra. That's going to be your thing. Okay, IBEW, you can also take a look at, it's very close to what happens in the ASVAB. No, Foundations of Algebra, you can do that too. Yeah, Foundations of Algebra will be your best bet. So you can go there, okay? All right, which is my blank, and no matter what, this is where it is. Okay. Make an appointment to see me. The doctor is in. You're so welcome. Okay. So if you want any of the tutoring, any of the courses, okay, that's where you go. Okay. If you want to buy books, books are there too, but I'm going to talk about the books after I get started with the next part. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. So we know when we have our value, when my A is 1. But here we have 2x squared plus 20x plus 32. What do you notice? Hey, Princess. I do not tutor for physics. Sorry, Nancy. I'm trying to think. Who does physics now? I know calculus. Physics? I have to check. If anything, Nancy, reach out to me and just send me a message to remind me to see if I can find someone for physics for you. I'm going to check my one friend to see if she does physics. Okay. So just call Maggie says factor out the 2, multiples of 2. Yes, common factor 2. So anytime that they ask you to factor anything, trinomial, polynomial, binomial, whatever, you always, the very first thing you should see is, do you have a GCF? That's the very first question. So since we do, we're going to factor out that 2, not 2x, because this is an x squared, this is an x. This doesn't have an x, so they don't all have an x in common. But always take a look, because sometimes they might throw that in there. So when you factor out that 2, it's basically like you're dividing all of this by 2. And you're going to put the answer inside this parenthesis. So 2x squared divided by 2 gives me x squared. Positive 20x divided by 2 gives me a positive 10x. Okay. And then 32 divided by 2 gives me a positive 16. Okay. Now, take a look inside the parenthesis. Sometimes this may be your answer. Sometimes the instruction may tell you to factor completely. So they're giving you a hint that, hey, you might have to break down what's going on inside the parenthesis. So if I may, let me cover this part up. And let me see if I can cover this too. I feel like I'm playing. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So taking a look inside. This is very similar to what we were just doing. My leading coefficient is a 1. So let's see if I have some factors going on in here. So I'm splitting my x's. And then I'm thinking, here's my cross. Just going to make a nice little cross here. So I have my 1 times 16. That gives me 16. And I rewrite my 10. What two numbers multiplied together will give me 16 and add together to give me 10? Look at you guys all. All right. I love, Kelly, how you said I was. I love that. I was. Now you're not anymore. Welcome to the party. Okay, so we're having 8 and 2, 8 and 2, 2 and 8, 8 and 2, 8 and 2, 8 and 2, 8 and 2, 2 and 8. Good job, guys. 8 and 2, 8 and 2. Good. So we have our 8. We have our 2. Okay. So since it's a positive 8 and that's a positive 2, we got our plus 8 and we have our plus 2. Okay. What's missing? What's missing? Why is this not my answer? Jess is saying 2. Michael's saying 2. The GCF. Yes. Move my big Shaq thumb out the way. Let's bring this 2 on down. Okay. This is your official answer. That is completely factored. Okay. Angela with the 2. Big Al with the 2. Yes. Antoinette, the GCF. Yes. Under my thumb. Alex, how do you know which number goes into the diagram and which way they have to add and multiply? Okay, excellent question. So this is my A and my C. This one deals with the multiplication. Okay, so when you multiply your A, which is the 1, times your C, which is the 16, that's where the 16 came from. AC is the same as saying A times C. And then down here is your add. So what two numbers multiplied together will give you the 16 and add together to give you the 10? That's where the 8 and the 2 came from. Okay, so really getting to know that multiplication table. So I'm going to be truthful, my babies. I'm going to be truthful. If you're not strong with your multiplication table, you're going to struggle. It's going to be a struggle. Okay? It hurts my soul when I ask a student, hey, what's 4 times 2? And they're reaching for a calculator. There's times I wish I could reach through the internet. Just reach through the computer and smack that calculator out of their hands. Okay? I know we're very attached to things. But some of those basic skills we need to get to know. So if you have to make yourself some index cards, do so. If you need to do a lot of these multiplication games that you can put on your phone, do that. Why not have fun while you're learning some math, okay? There's tons of multiplication games on your iPhones and everything, okay? I appreciate you. Okay, derivatives is not too bad. Other things, yeah, I guess we divide at the beginning. So when it's like this, we divide at the beginning. So you always pull first thing, ask yourself, do you have a GCF? Whatever that GCF is, in order to start that first parenthesis, you have to divide by the original problem. Okay, so if that's what you're asking, yes. Okay, let's try another one. Give it some room here. Okay. Peach, this was my worst subject in school. I wish I had TikTok back then. Yes. Not a problem. Not a problem, Peach. Hey, we're all trying to get past that thing called math phobia. Yeah, and it's okay. Darth, you're going to take it step by step. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is a struggle. I don't get it. But it's going to click. Keep practicing, okay? Trust yourself, okay? If I can be a math teacher, anybody can. Trust and believe, okay? You got this. Just one. Okay, what's the schedule so I stop missing you? Yeah, my princess, I'm telling you, my schedule has been all over the place because as soon as I get clients, I'm sorry, but I had to make that precedence because I have to pay bills. I love you all. I love doing this, but I got to pay bills, and this TikTok gift stuff is not doing it. Do I also do geometry? I do through tutoring. Okay. Bring out the big guns, yeah. All right, math's your favorite subject? Awesome, I know. It's so much easier to remember and understand than the way I was taught. Yes, it really is. It really is. I don't know why people make it so confusing. Hey, sweet one. It's been a minute. How are you? Everybody's coming out the woodwork tonight. Y'all be hibernating. It's not even winter yet. Yes, this is factoring. All right, thank you so much for the likes. Okay, what is my GCF? What is my GCF? Hey, Janice, I didn't even see you coming in either. Okay, elevator, stairs, I love that. Same 3, 3, 3, Darth 3, 3, 3, I love it. All right, so let's factor out this 3. So if I pull the 3 out, that means I'm dividing each of these by 3, and I'm putting the answer inside the parenthesis. So 3x squared divided by 3, that gives us our x squared. Negative 15x divided by 3, that gives us our negative 5x. And positive 18 divided by 3, that gives me a positive 6. Okay. Because multiplication is that fast addition, and if you can do it one way, you can do it the other way, and the other way is called division. Now, let's look inside this parenthesis. I feel like Jacques Cousteau right now. Let's take a look inside the deep dives of the water. That's totally not his accent, not whatsoever. All right, so I notice that inside, let me cover up this top so we won't freak out. Okay. So just what's going on inside this parenthesis. I'm going to have my small x. This is going to be my A and my C. This is my B. Let me move this over like this. Okay. My A is 1. My C is 6. 1 times 6 gives me 6. My B is the number in the middle plus its signage, which is a -5. So now I have to ask, what two numbers multiplied will give me 6 and add together to give me a -5? Okay, and Sonjay, even Sonjay's here. Did y'all have a meeting that said we all need to go to Orgies Live tonight? All right. Yes, so I'm seeing -2s and -3s. Good job, guys, because a negative times a negative gives me a positive. 2 times 3 gives me 6. A -2 plus a -3, that will give me a -5. You borrowed $2 from me for some sick and twisted reason. I loaned you another $3, so that means you still owe me money, but this time you owe me $5. Where's my money? Okay. Yep, you're right. Good. Okay. So now split your x's. Here's one x. Here's another x. And the two numbers that we got as our factors, this right here, we have our -2 is here and our -3 is here. And then don't forget about the trifling ass friend. You know, that one friend or multiple friends, like sometimes I have. Never have any money but want to go somewhere. At least like when I don't have money, I stay my butt home, right? I make it happen at home. But people want to be like, oh, let's go to a club. I ain't got club money, neither do I. How are we going to the club? Oh, we should go out to this restaurant. I heard so many good things. I saw it on TikTok. We should go. You got gas money? Nah. How? When you gonna fart into the gas can in order for us to get down to DC? No. Sit your butt down. Can't. Sure. There you go. Ugh. I know. I haven't been to a club since college. I'm good. I am good. I don't think I'm missing anything. And there's a club not too far away from my house. I don't know. It used to be a Mexican restaurant. But it's a beautiful place. It deserves to be a club. Okay. How do I know if I should put -2 or -3 first? Oh, that doesn't matter. Okay, you love Asia, that doesn't matter. If you put x minus 3 and x minus 2, that's perfectly fine. Because multiplication is called commutative. So no matter if you did 2 times 3 or 3 times 2, you're still going to get the answer of 6. Okay, good question. Shinko. Not a problem. Never be to one, but I heard very expensive. So no thanks. I know, right? Buy one drink, feel like you gotta sign for a mortgage. Why is this drink so expensive? It's one drink, and then you just literally accidentally inhale a little too much. It's gone. Like, what are we doing? I just spent $14. You know how long it took me to get that $14? So this is considered like Algebra 1, Algebra 2, like honors Algebra 1, Algebra 2. So it depends on, that's why I never said grades, because I know kids that are taking Algebra 1 in 6th grade. And I have a couple of clients that are taking Algebra 2 as 8th graders. Like, so I can't go by grades. Okay. Okay, if you put a please on that, I will explain the A, C, and the B again. I would appreciate that. Yeah, the number in front, that's going to be tomorrow, not tonight. Okay. All right. Yeah, it does. All right. Thank you. All right. So when I look at, after I factor out the 3, I'm looking at what's happening inside of the parenthesis. So this is what's called standard form. So your A is always the number that's in front of your x squared. Your B is always the number that's in front of your x. And the C is your constant. So when we're trying to find these factors that satisfy what two numbers multiply to give me 6, and the same two numbers add together to give me -5, I'm going to multiply my A and my C, which is 1 times 6. That's where the 6 comes from. And then I rewrite the B, which was -5. That goes down there. So I said, all right, what two numbers multiplied together will give me 6 and add together to give me -5. It's just a way to keep track of what I'm looking for. Some people like to make it into a capital T. That's just not my thing. I kind of like the cross a little bit. Okay. All right. Does that make sense? Okay. In college algebra? Okay. Okay. If we could put a please on there. We got to work on our please and thank yous. I know we got home training. Don't let this culture of nowadays throw you off. Let me find out. Let Big Mama come right out of the grave. We'll be done. All you can hear is the slippers and the humming. Mm-hmm. Yep. Come on. All right. You are so welcome. I know we forget. We just got to bring it all back. Sometimes you just got to bring it on back. All right. Let me make sure I'm not repeating myself. Okay. We can do this one. Okay. I'm going to leave you alone with this one. Let's see what you can do. And if you're not sure, okay, you can put a question mark, but give it a try. Okay, try to use the previous one as a guide. I think it's down enough that we all can do it. Oh, thank you, Michael. South Africa. See, everybody's coming out in the woodwork. Even South Africa is here. I haven't seen South Africa in forever. Hello. How are you? I swear, I think you guys sent a memo. Orgy's live, everyone needs to. I know, long time, right? Even Sharon's here. Sharon Smiley's here. Mia's here. Michael's here. Jeremy came back. Good. I'm glad to hear it. All right. Thank you, Jeremy. They all heard my birthday's coming up. Yeah, it is. Sitting here crying like, even Tillman's here? Yeah, I probably missed it. I'm sorry, Miss Sharon. All right, well, thank you. Justin came back. Justin came back this week. I'm telling y'all. Hey, Justin. Okay. Oh, you did? Oh, happy birthday, Joanne. Yeah, just another year. A reminder. You're welcome. I know, right? Jeremy's always on top of that. Test tomorrow. I need to study. Okay. Definitely study up. Study up. Now, here's my thing. Just look through, peruse, try to look at your notes. Use a separate sheet of paper. Write down some of the problems that you have in your notes and use your notes as an answer key. That's the easiest way to study. Don't just flip through the pages because that does nothing. Even Drake came back. Welcome back, Drake. So we have... Now be careful, Drake, because your GCF, it's not going to be 2x because this 24 doesn't have an x. Okay? Be careful with that one. You want to see me do the problem. That sounds kinky. I don't know about that. And what should follow after that? Okay, yep, mathematics is lit. We're not doing complete the square. Chili, let it go, man. Just let it go. Okay, what math is this? This is factoring. Okay, we're dealing with factoring. There we go. Okay. All right, just give it a try. All right. So is that correct? Let's see what you said, Joseph. So here we go. 2, 8, and 24. Yes, my GCF is going to be a 2. Since that 24 does not have an x, we can't pull out a 2x. It's just going to be 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a parenthesis. And we're going to take the original and divide each of them by 2. So 2x squared divided by 2 gives me 1x squared, or just x squared. Because remember, the 1 is understood to be there. Positive 8x divided by 2 gives me a positive 4x. And then a negative 24 divided by 2, that will give me my negative 12. Okay. All right. So now, Angela, this is what we're going to be doing next. Okay? We're good. So now we're going to take a look what's inside. So we're covering this up, covering the 2, and we're going to focus inside that parenthesis. So my leading coefficient is 1. This is when we start off with the 2 parentheses. Since my leading coefficient is 1, you have an x in one and the x in the other. So we need to figure what's going to be our finished numbers to help us out. So this is why we do the x. So we have our AC, we have our B. Okay. My A is 1. My C is negative 12. So when I multiply 1 times negative 12, I'm going to get a negative 12. Then my B is the coefficient of the X in the middle. So it's a positive 4, so I just simply put 4. Okay. So now we have to ask ourselves, what two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 12 and add together to give me 4? So some of you guys, James, Red Diamond, a couple other people early on, is it Nadia? Okay, but the signs trick you, not a problem. So we know we got our 6 and our 2, and since it has to be a negative 12, one of these has to be negative. If I make the 6 negative, negative 6 plus 2 will give me a negative 4, but we're not looking for a negative 4. We're looking for a positive 4. So actually, the 2 is going to be the one that's going to carry that negative. Because 6 times negative 2 gives me negative 12. And 6 plus negative 2 will give me 4. Okay. So these two numbers here, are going to be the numbers we're going to fill in here. So you got your positive 6 plus 6 and your negative 2 minus 2. And the only thing that's missing is to bring down this 2. Okay. So after you do factoring out the GCF, you get your parenthesis, focus everything inside that first parenthesis, split it into 2 parentheses, and then you're doing the AC. Okay. Because since we're doing factoring, see, factoring is distributive property in reverse. So this is not doing FOIL. It's like you're getting your answer from FOIL and you're working backwards. Of course, Ashley, I got you. So AC is, the A is the coefficient from the x squared, the C is your constant, and the B is your middle term, the coefficient of your middle term. Okay, you're welcome. No. Wholesome stuff. Not a problem. I know. We all need an academic emina. We need a washout, as my mom would say. Did you pick up your book and your washout? You need a washout. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. So, last one for the night. Don't try to escape at the end. All right. Let's chill. Let's settle down. I think I had one more. Yep. There. You got it. So we have, and keep it relatively simple. All right. So 2x squared plus 16x minus 32. No problem, South Africa. Where do I buy my pens from? Giant supermarket. It's just a regular Sharpie pen. Oh, wait, no. I lied. Hold on. I got these from the W. You know, that place. that we shouldn't be shopping at. Yeah. So they have the white covering, which was on sale that one day, and then the black covering, which was on sale another day. Yeah, we ain't paying full price at the W. No. Not Stamples. Yes. Showing my age. Can I do statistics? No. I love you. I love you right back, but that is not my jam. I probably could, but no. I'd rather do things that I'm like really like, I know it inside out. Let's go. Let's bang it out. That's what we're doing. Okay. Sum of cubes and difference of cubes. I did that. Well, not today, but I've done that before. Yeah. So if you need those, here we go. I know, I feel like I'm like going crazy with this. Go here, do a search here, and then do those 5 things. That would be awesome. And then you'll see TikTok Lives. It's a playlist. All of my videos from February 2nd is there. Yeah, it's a lot now, like almost 300 right now. Because there was a couple of times I went on live multiple times in a day. Okay, and if you just do a search, difference of cubes, difference of squares, you'll see a video. Okay, all right. Okay, so this problem will factor nicely. Oh, it's being mean. Did you factor out the GCF user 57? We're to solve for X. Oh, I've done a few of those. When you have to factor and solve. That's also on there as well. On the YT, sorry. Yep, if you go here, you can do that. Because I did a few of those. Stuck with the sign again. That's okay. Breathe. No need for freaking out, guys. Come on. This is not Squid Games. You're not going to get knocked off if you get something wrong. It's okay. We're going to make the adjustment. Okay? Easy. Okay? Okay. Aaron, same thing. I've done those already. Okay? Go here. Type in this. And then type in logs. I got tons of them on there. Okay. All right. Okay, no problem. Okay, you're welcome. Oh, good. All right. So could I ask you, what is my GCF if I have one? What is my GCF? Thank you for sharing the lives. Okay, so user, got South Africa 2, Angela 2, Big Al 2. Okay, is this on the GED? Oh, yes. This is one of those 4-point questions. You got to get this down. H-Town 2, Ashley 2, Sharon 2, Endron, welcome back, 2. Angela 2, Jaden 2, Cody 2, Joanne 2, Dottie 2, little Dottie. Good. So let's factor that bad boy out. Okay. So now, if I divide everything by 2, then I have my x squared. 16 divided by 2, that gives me a plus 8x. And then a negative divided by a positive give me a negative. And 32 divided by 2 will give me my 16. Okay, so we got our negative 16. No, Tyler, I don't do calculus. That's not my thing. Okay. Alright. So now, let's take a look inside. So we have x squared plus 8 minus 16. So let's see. If I draw my x, we have our AC and we have our B. So if I multiply 1 times negative 16, that gives me negative 16. And then I rewrite my B, which is 8. So what two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 16 and add together to give me a positive 8? Okay. All right. So here we go. If you did negative 4 and positive 4 multiplied, that will give me a negative 16. But negative 4 plus 4, that gives me a 0. Okay. We can't even use 8 and 2. Because if I tried to use 8 times 2, let's say the 2 is negative. So then I have 8 plus negative 2. That gives me 6. We're looking for an 8. Plus it wouldn't work because there's an 8 already there. So in this case, we can't have it. Even if I tried to do 1 and 16, that doesn't make any sense. It's not going to give me 8. Okay, we can't use 3s because 16 is not divisible by 3. Okay, all we got is 2s and 4s, 8, and 16. Okay, none of them work. So this is your answer. Okay, hey Godson. Okay. I know, tricky, but the fact that you were looking, no, there is a solution. There is a solution. But remember, we're not solving. We're just factoring. So the only thing we had was the GCF. Okay, so if they say factor completely, you factored out the GCF. That's it. That's factored completely. Okay. I didn't trick you. Okay. Tyler, it's okay. Look, there's no judgment here, people. No judgment. All right. But here's the thing. You were thinking, right? When was the last time you actually sat down? You're like, look, I need to figure this out. Because you would have left a long time ago. Right? But you tried to figure things out. And that's why I want you to be proud of yourself. Even if you're like, look, I'm in Calc 15, okay? I'm in Calc 3. I'm in AP this and all this stuff. Or, you know what? I haven't seen this since I was a fetus. Or, you know what? I think I'm able to walk and crawl with it, but I still need more time crawling before I officially take on this walking thing when it comes to math. And that's perfectly fine. Okay, do not let the rush and go mentality of our society throw you off. You can do math, and you are doing math. You're doing math at a level that you're basically starting to feel comfortable, and that barrier, which is, I know it's thick as I don't know what, because you've had this feeling since you were probably elementary or middle school. And then all of a sudden, like, nope, I can't do that math. I mean, hell, I'm sitting here saying that's about statistics. I can do it to figure it out, but for right now, off the top of my head, I got to look at it first before I tackle it. But at least I know that about me. And you guys are making great changes, and I'm so proud of you. All right? Be proud of yourself. Give yourself some grace, please. You got an A in calculus? Awesome. Learn it day by day. That's what I'm talking about, Endron. Did you name it after that cartoon? I used to love that cartoon. They used to say some off-the-wall stuff. Right? Factor and see two imaginary roots. Yes, you can. Yep, and the two imaginary roots is not crossing that x-axis at all. Did you say a mom of 12? Girl. Hold on. We ain't gonna pass by this. Hold on. Okay. 44, mom of 12, who haven't used this stuff since college. This was fun. You are so welcome. Mom of 12, girl. Whew. I'm exhausted. God bless you. Okay. Oh, it's your name backwards. Oh, okay. Yeah. You should also look up that Endron or Undrawn, I think it was called. It's funny stuff. A little off the run, a little tongue-in-cheek type thing. Right, Sally? That's what I'm saying. You didn't want to comment? I did. Okay. 0. Yeah. So that's why we can't use -4 and 4, because it works for the multiplication, but it has to work for the addition. And since if I do -4 plus 4 right here, that's going to give me 0. Okay, that's going to give me a 0. So that's why it didn't work. Okay? All right. Okay. Back to school. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if anything, if you want to take a course, you just want to have your hand in a course of it, hey, I do courses, self-paced. I don't want to sit here and say, like, you could be nursing on one hand and doing math on the other. That's a bit much, but here we are. But if you want to take a course, you can take the Foundation of Algebra course. I just did a video about it to show, like, how many topics. It's basically the whole Algebra 1 concept plus probability and some geometry. And it's usually found in a lot of the assessments. Like, some of it is going to be ASVAB. I added some extra stuff in there, whereas GED, I added a couple of things in there. But again, the Foundation of Algebra is always like a good one to go. And right now it's on sale at $147. October 1st, that bad boy is going up. Same thing with the books. Now, let me talk to you about the books, and then I can stop. Okay, not a problem. I'm so glad. So this notebook, as I keep showing you, I created this, and it all stemmed from a lot of my Algebra 2 students that I had about like 3 years ago. This is the second prototype of the notebook. And what I do is I come on here and I break down concepts, do a bit of graphing, a little bit of something with slope, talk about domain and range, one-step equations, everything, okay? And I have it on both sides. So you have the dots on one side, then you have the traditional grids on the other side, and it's up to you, gives you enough room. I write rather large because of the lives. Probably this can last maybe a semester. There's like 100 pages of it. And then at the end of it, we have our resource page. Now for our resource page, like I've been showing you most of today, we have the factor sheet from 1 to 200 because it's really designed for 7th grade up to adults. Then I have the words and phrases that are used for what operation in word problems. Then we have the squares and the cubes and their roots on one side, because sometimes we forget, from 1 to 15. Then the rules of integers. Then we have our inequalities, interval notation. I know a lot of people have gone past that. Order of operation, properties of exponents. We'll kind of talk a little bit about that. Then we have our linear and quadratic equations. Hey, that looks familiar. Standard form. We were talking about that, but that's as an equation. But we were doing more of the quadratic. That's the one that we were doing tonight. Then we have fractions operation, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, as well as the decimal operations, same thing. Okay, place values, then percents and decimals. Also, arithmetic and geometric sequences. Then we have our distance, speed, and time. There's always questions like this, especially ASVAB and GED. Listen up. You're going to need to know and understand this lovely little trick. So let's say you're trying to find the speed, okay, and they gave you the distance and the time, so it's distance divided by time. If they gave you the time, you cover up the time, that means you're looking at distance and speed. If they give you distance, that means you're going to multiply speed and time, okay? So that's how you use that little trick. Some people use it for velocity and acceleration. So very similar. Measures essential tendencies, mean, median, mode. Range is the measure of variation. I don't know who keeps putting them with these three. Drives me crazy. I can let it go. All right, so graphing linear inequalities, system of inequalities, system of equations. So it's all jam-packed, you know? If you can't remember the area and perimeter, unless it's a circle, circumference. Then we also have volume and surface area. Then we have Pythagorean's theorem, and also a little bit of trig ratios right here, okay? And last but not least, which is usually in the back of most notebooks, especially the composition notebooks, is the conversion. So especially for my nurses, this one you should know, and this one you should know, okay? All right. One thing, especially for military guys, you need to know that 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds, okay? Commit that to memory. Anyone that's going to be doing ASVAB, all right? Sometimes they like to sneak one of those questions in there to see if you know that, okay? It's almost like the song. You have 16 tons, what do you get? All right. All right. In addition to that, definitely want to know these. And, well, basically just take a look at these. I don't want to say memorize, because when you memorize and you're in a situation where you're like, I got to pass this test, you're not going to pass the test because you're in a state of panic. You cannot learn in a state of panic. Okay? So, this is book number 6 that I've been doing here. And I'm selling all my books for $10.29. That's a deal because they're normally at $22.97. So that deal is going to expire October the 1st. Okay, this is a birthday month celebration. So I'm giving all that. All right. Okay. Yep, so this is where you go to get your discount. It usually takes like a week, or depending on which level of shipping that you choose, okay? So if you choose the cheapest, obviously it's going to take roughly 2 weeks, okay, for it to deliver. It's not the A. It is available in the A, but for full price. For some reason, I couldn't put the discount on there, okay? All right, so not only do I have this version for righties, I also have a version for you lefties, okay? Both my parents are left-handed, okay? So this is a true left-handed book, okay? Notice the page, it flips, okay? So I do have a left-handed edition. This one is for Algebra and Algebra 1. I can't wait for my Algebra 2 and Pre-Calculus book to come in so I can show you the resources of that. And this one is also for Algebra and Algebra 1. So if you're taking, say, college algebra, this would be a good resource for you. If you're taking GED, or if you're taking those intermediate math classes before you get the accredited class, these are going to be the books that's going to be best for you. Okay. Okay. Yes. Awesome. All right. Yep. So this is where you go to purchase them. All right. So if we want those, also for tutoring, I mean, I had a lovely person. I love how some of you guys are reaching out. How long is the GED course? It is self-paced. It has 107 videos on there. Each of the videos are roughly like 20 minutes long. But again, if you understand it, fast forward. If you need to pause, pause it. Say that I'm about to do a problem on the video. If you want to pause the video and then try the problem out yourself and then hit play to check to see if your answer and my answer is the same, that's the way that you learn. So the one thing I do like about it is I have an exit ticket at the end of every video and you get the answer to it to the next video. It's very much sequential. Okay, it's very much sequential. So it'll be great. Okay, looking at my book site, yay. Yep, for T's, yours going to be like the basic math as well. So this one, if it's not the pink one with the resources, but remember, it's just a notebook, but the resources is what's in the back. Okay. Now, if you're looking and you're like, hey, Audrey, I like your notes. Like, I want your notes. Well, I have something called Audrey's Notes, which is just a collection of all my notes that I do here on the lives. Okay, they're all color coded. They're all labeled. And what happens is at the bottom, there's a QR code. If you scan it, you'll actually see the video that is connected to this lesson. Okay, some people like to do it. I just see it'll be as a great resource for like homeschool parents, maybe even like teachers that's just looking for some random things for students to do for either enrichment or remediation. It's just another way to organize it. So if you want to get copies of my notes, you can do that as well. Now, as a studying tool, it's not that bad. I usually would, if someone's trying to do something, if they want to get one of the books, I would say either 4 or 5. But 3, this is copy 3. 3 is not that bad. It has like a mixture of everything. A little bit of Algebra 1, a little bit of geometry, a little bit of probability in here. So that's why I kind of keep number 3. Because it also has the matrices in here. So I like to keep those on lock. And even has like the GED stuff that we were just talking about. Okay, or GCF, not GED, GCF stuff. Okay, so again, this is also on there. Books 1 through 5 is available, and as you can see, we're working on book 6. Book 6 will be ready probably maybe the end of next week. The end of next week, the beginning of the week after. As soon as I finish the book, I always just scan it and then just put it up on my site. Okay. For GED, if you wanted to go Audrey's Notes, I would get book 3 to give you a little sampler. But if you're going to be doing a course and you want to keep track of your notes and have a reference, I would take this book, the pink and yellow one. Okay. Yeah, I'm all about lava lamps. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I'm working on a workbook. Yeah. So I'm working on a workbook. For right now, if you want something, the courses will be your best bet. Okay. Yep, $10.29 each. Yes. All right, thank you. Yeah, book 3 has good stuff. Thank you, South Africa. Appreciate you. Okay, ordering now. Oh, thanks, Joanne. Appreciate the support, guys. I just want to make sure I put good stuff out there. And soon enough, I'm going to be doing this weekend, I'm going to be doing deep dives. And that's going to be like little paid events. So like maybe $5. And then we do a little bit deeper into, say, factoring or doing deeper stuff for ASVAB in particular. So Saturday will be GED. That's at 10:30. And I have like my whole calendar. I'm trying to see, but I have a light in my eye. So it's kind of hard for me to see my calendar right now. Here we go. I think I have it written somewhere. Yes, I do. Okay, so on Saturday, I'm actually going to go live. Wow. 2 times. So I have the GED at 10:30 and then college algebra. I don't know what to do with you guys. A lot of people are asking me questions about college algebra, and you have questions. It's almost like if you want to ask homework questions, I want to offer my services for about like an hour and 15 minutes. And that's going to be on Saturdays at 1 p.m. So if you want it, just message me, because I am going to put that out there. Because for some reason, the subscriptions is not doing what I want it to do. Not because people are not joining in. It's just not doing what I want it to do. Because TikTok keeps changing their stuff. But I'm going to figure it out. Okay, best for GED, book 3. Book 3, or if you really want to get down to it, I would say the course. But if you're going to take your GED soon, like I want to say within a month, maybe we should definitely do like a tutoring session, because then I can just get you right down to the nitty of the gritty. Okay, so it's going to be up to you. Like if you're starting from the very beginning, I would say take the courses. If you are like, okay, I just need some tweaking, I'm about to, take it next week, or I'm taking it the week after, and you just need one session just to make sure you're on track, then we'll do a tutoring session. And again, I'm available 7 days a week. But the books are nice to have. Here's my thing. I would go here to make sure that you like the lives. If you like the live replays, which I know you will, then, you can get this book. This one has the probability mixed in with some of the expressions and graphing. So that's why I kind of like book 3. There's nothing wrong with book 1 and book 2. I just feel like book 2 is heavier on more advanced stuff than book 3. Like book 2 is good for someone that's going into Algebra 2. Okay. Best for 9th grade, book 3. I would say that. But if he's currently in 9th grade and wants something to help keep his notes intact, his or her notes intact, I would get the math notebook with the resources. Because these resources are going to save him throughout the whole year. And I would say this one. I know it's pink and yellow, but guys are starting to like pink and yellows now. Okay. Yeah, you have to order them individually. I know it's a pain in the neck. I'm trying to find another spiel that's not trying to rip me off. Yeah, wish me luck on that, right? All right. Cool. Yeah, it really is. So how much is tutoring? Well, I normally tutor for $87 an hour, but I've been doing it for $67 for TikTok followers. So follow me, you can get a discount. And I'm worth every single penny, that's for sure. Thank you. For absolute values. For which one? Audrey's notes? Oh, thanks, Miguel. Okay, for Audrey's notes, absolute values are in here. But for the individual notebooks, that's going to be in the Algebra 2. That's in the Algebra 2 one. Okay. So that's the one I'm waiting for it to come in so I can show you that one. Same notebook, same sequence, but the you won't have like place value in there. You're going to have more of the advanced math stuff in the back. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Now, if you have questions about tutoring, if you want to have a discussion, yeah. So, like each of the content, not the subject. The content is different. The concepts, I should say. Nope, I'm not booked out. If you want, message me. Just shoot me a message. It'll come into my request just in case we're not following each other. And then what I'll do, or I think the easiest way, there's a button at the very bottom that says Service Plus. If you click on that and just fill in the information, it'll shoot over to my email. So that'll be the best bet. Okay, so it's at the very bottom it says Service Plus. I think it's orange if I'm not mistaken. If you click on that, fill in the information, and then shoot over to me. Okay? And worst case scenario, you can always go here. Okay? Okay, how often do I go live? Every single day. Okay, how do I order? I'm trying to get my GED at the age of 47. I was like, guys, if I may, I love each and every one of you. I love the fact that you're going back to school. Why do you guys keep thinking that you're too old to go back? Why? You're not. Okay, I know it's been a minute since you've been in school, but the fact that you want to go, the fact that you're going, sometimes you feel like you're going against what everyone told you that's going on. I'm proud of you. Go, take it. All right? So here's my thing. If you're trying to get your GED and you're starting from the beginning and it's been a while, take the course. Save up and take the course. It's going to be 147. It's 107 different videos, plus practice problems. Plus, I give within the video, there's practice problems that you can pause, do some work, and click it on. Push play, and you can see if you're correct, yes or no. And I explain it because I'm doing the videos. Okay, there's no one else. It's just me. And then also you get quizzes in there as well. And it's self-paced. So if one day you want to do like 2 chapters, go ahead, knock yourself out, do 2 chapters. If one day you just want to I just want to try this, that's fine. And then if you really want, like after you do something, you still feel stuck, contact me. And then we'll get an even discounted version of a tutoring session, like in the 47s if I'm not mistaken, because you already bought the course. So if anything, just like a half an hour breezy. Okay. Okay. Hey, you guys study. I love that. So the combinations for Algebra 1, I would say 3 and, what did I say? 3 and 5? Hold on. So 3 and 4 is a good combo. 3 and 4 is a good combo. And if you want a notebook that he or she needs now, so they can start organizing themselves. Okay, give them the spots for them to write their formulas. Okay, whatever that formula is, so they can find that formula rather quickly and to write their steps down. Okay, I was working on this with a student today. Okay, with the absolute values. All right, so we did this August 21st. So we worked on some of the formulas, worked on some of the steps, what they need to do. Okay. A lot of times, kids, that's all they need to do is organize their notes. They don't know how to take notes. They don't know. They're not being taught how to take notes. That's not a thing that the teachers are supposed to do. Like how to keep things organized. Nope. They're not taught how to do that. Okay. That's an extra thing. Okay, perfect. I will definitely check that up. Yes. I mean, I want you guys to be successful. Don't let anybody hold you down. And most of the time, the one that's holding you back is you. So get the hell out of your own way and let you grow. Yeah, it's scary. But guess what? Sometimes we got to do scary things to achieve the dreams that we want. Okay? I'm the same way. You think I know how to do my business? I'm learning something new every day. Okay? Sometimes I got to deal with people that say they want tutoring and they think it's free. Sometimes I got to deal with people that want tutoring. We set everything up and they don't show up for the appointments. So that's time that I took away that I could have spent with someone else or doing something else, but I had to set it aside. Dealing with people that are playing around with my phones. As I say this, it's like, gentlemen, I'm not looking to date. Don't even call me. Don't even contact me. Don't just say hi because I'm going to delete the message. Okay? I'm all about business right now. So, and just this whole thing, you know? I gotta mention it. You know, because sometimes people would be like, oh, yeah, I need tutoring, but I don't know how to speak English. And I'm like, okay, start with that. Like, you know, start with that and then take it on. Because when you're taking the ASVAB, it's all in English. There's no translation. So start with that. So anyway, yeah, I do. Okay. All right. Okay, so Tim missed out. So this is what we're doing. We're actually wrapping up. So give me a few moments, maybe a couple hours, depending on how TikTok's doing tonight. If you go here, okay, go here, type that out in the search. If you can do these 5 things, that would be amazing. And what I'm going to do, you'll see the replays for my TikToks. There's a playlist. So I'm going to put that up on the playlist. So if you want that, you need it, that's where you go, okay? Not all the books. Not all the books. Okay, Audrey's Notes is just a copy of my notes. That's what Audrey's Notes is with the QR code. Okay? The math notebooks are basically blank pages just like these, okay? It's just like a regular notebook. And then in the back of it, that gives you the resources. Okay, so the plain notebook gives you the resources. Okay, all this stuff is like previous lives that I did. Okay. So if you want to do something to learn to help get your GED and you need to start from ground zero, go to my courses, go here. Okay? If you want to work on foundations of algebra, your T's exams, the IBEWs, the people that need to work with the algebra, go. These are the courses that you need, the foundations to algebra. If you're ASVAB, I got you. If you're Accuplacer, I got you. If you're GED, I got you. Okay. All right. So take a look. Take a look. And the course is self-paced. So if you want to do like 10 chapters, knock yourself out. Have fun. Do 10 chapters. You know, if there's some things you got to sit down and take some time with it, take some time with it. It's up to you. But if you know you're taking the ASVAB like in the next couple of weeks or next month, this is going to take some time. It's 107 chapters. So that means you want to do this. We want to either do a private or see if we can get a small group tutoring. Okay? So if you know it's coming up quickly and you want to go over some stuff, or you can go to my deep dives that I'm starting up, and that's like $5 for the deep dives, and it's like an hour and 15 minutes. And I go into, especially the ASVAB, which is on Sundays, I go through ASVAB for Dummies, because I know everybody has bought this book. The thickness, right? Not the thickness that we all like. Now, here's another thing. Spoiler alert. This is the 2025. I found someone gave me an older copy, the 2023s. It's the same stuff, a different cover. Okay? It's exactly the same stuff, same exact wording, same exact questions. So if you go to the A, you know, the box with the smiley face, if you go there, you can buy an older version of this book. You'll be perfectly fine. The reason why I like this for the ASVAB, I like the questions. But here's the thing. Look at this. This is going to require you to do a lot of reading. And knowing a lot of my lovely people, we don't like to read. We rather watch movies. We rather watch films, right? We're not really into just reading because then it gets confusing. We need someone to break it down. Hence, that's why you're here on this platform, because you like how I break concepts down. So what I do in the deep dives, I take some of these questions, okay, revamp them, or sometimes, like we did last week, we took these questions and I basically go through step by step and give you some ideas of how to do POE, P-O-E, okay? POE means process of elimination. That's how you pass the test for standardized tests, not classroom tests. The way you study for a classroom test and the way you study for a standardized test is completely different. Okay? Yes. Exactly. Are there any hacks on how to simplify fractions? Yes. But see, here's the thing. You have to know your multiplication. That's how you simplify fractions. Think about it. Getting rid of, figuring out how to add, subtract, multiply, divide fractions. Okay? Same with decimals. Trying to go from a percent to a decimal to percent, a fraction to a percent, all that fun stuff. You need to understand your multiplication. Okay? Same with multiplying polynomials, the stuff that we did with the factoring. The heart of math is through multiplication, which is another way of doing fast addition. If you don't feel comfortable with multiplication, you are going to struggle. Okay? Are you hearing me? Do you hear me? Okay? Thank you. All right? So that's the whole thing. You're saying C. Yes. Okay? So once you start feeling comfortable with multiplication, you can do this math. Okay? You can do what they're giving you for ASVAB and get not even a pass, but get in the 50s and the 60s instead of the minimum of 31. Stop shooting for the minimum. Shoot a little higher. Okay? You can do this. All right? If you can understand your multiplication, you'll be able to do this, Algebra 2. You'll be able to do this, College Algebra. Where are we? You'll be able to do this, Pre-Calculus. Okay, be able to do this, Statistics. You'll be able to do all these type of maths. See, this is how serious I am, because now I got to rearrange my bookcase. But this is serious. Okay? No more. You're no longer that small kid in middle school or elementary that's afraid that someone's going to make fun of you. You're no longer that kid where the teacher tries to embarrass you by putting you in the corner, giving you a whole list of problems that if I knew how to do one of these, I would be able to do this list. But you have me in the corner telling me to figure it out. And I'm speaking my truth. That's what I went through when I was a kid. And then, God forbid, I had nuns, which all of them, if they wanted to throw something in the back of the room, if you ever see a nun throw a piece of chalk across the room, they should be pitching for the freaking Dodgers. It's crazy. So, but you're no longer that small child. We're not going to make fun of you. And you're sitting here like, I want to do something different with my life. I want to be seen, and I want to be not only heard, I want people to listen to what I do, to what I'm saying. I want to make small changes the way that I want it. The only way you can do it is, I hate to say it, got to get past that math barrier. And it's going to take one problem at a time. And you definitely can get this done. If I can freaking do it, you definitely can. Okay? All right? I trust in you. I believe in you. Okay? I'm glad I popped up on your FYP too. See? That's why I'm telling you. Tapping. Tapping helps. We have like 67. This is awesome. Can we get it to 80? There's like 192 of us here. Can we all do a mad tap and get it to 80? Because that's how people bring it in. I know I'm trying to clean up. So you guys keep tapping while I clean all this stuff up. Try to put my stuff back on my shelf. And while you're doing that, this was an interesting find. Something I found in like some kind of book, scape or something. This is a college algebra book made for Howard University. It's their Math 006. I have no idea. They had made their own college algebra book. Right? Tons of problems, tons of stuff. And here's the funny thing, guys, if I may. A lot of the textbooks that I have, if someone tries to come after me, come on. The door's open, you'll be fine. All the textbooks that I have, the schools that I was working for, they were about to toss them. They called them pack them and stack them. So they were like the old books that, oh, we don't need those anymore. And I'm just like, it's more student friendly than what we were doing. What was it? Carnegie Learning. Ugh. With the disposable packets and all that. It was so trifling, so disgusting. So yeah, I just find it very interesting that they made their own textbook. But I love how we have so many textbooks. We have warehouses filled with textbooks. Filled. We could easily take these, ship them to a third world country and help educate people around the world. But instead, we rather have it take up space in a warehouse. Doesn't make any sense. The whole white paper again? Sure. There you go. Right? I mean, and that's why I'm like, we just get rid of stuff. Wait, hold on. Before that blows away. And it just seems like, I was like, well, you're about to throw them out. So I grabbed the teacher's editions and the student editions. Now the textbooks, I love my tutoring kids. But when they, especially Baltimore County and some parts of Baltimore City, When they give me stuff to do, and it's this, was it Ingenuity? No, not Ingenuity. Illustrious, I think it's called. Math. It's some terrible stuff. It's just such a terrible system. And I'm like, it's not doing the kids any justice. So it's making the teachers have to do secondary stuff, but yet they're being assessed just like out of this particular system. It's just, it's disgusting. And I saw today that a lot of schools here in Maryland, when they took the assessments last year, there's still some schools that got a 0. Like not one student passed the math proficiency. Out of, I think it was like 23 schools. I forgot what the breakdown is, like 16 schools had like 4 schools that had, 16 schools had like 1 person that passed. And the remaining had 0. Didn't pass the math equivalency. And then we're sitting here asking for $2 million to do something with. Why? That's why. That's why they want to get rid of the education system. Why would you invest more money into something that they're not getting anything out of it? We can understand that the kids were getting close, or the kids were like, oh, they were like, a couple points away, but they're getting a 0. Goose egg. Null. Nada. Nay. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? CODNER. Not OR. Yep. CODNER. Yeah, I wish I knew where to donate it. I would. Same happened to you? Mm-hmm. Alright. Yeah, that was me last night. Our internet went out. That you're alive. And you started like 2 hours ago. I know. It's craziness. Alright, everyone. We are about to wrap up. But I can't say that anymore. There are some teachers that are teaching, but they get overshadowed by the ones that are not. There is a lot of teachers that really do care, and they're burning themselves out. And do not be surprised that after Christmas break, they don't come back. Some of them are like, oh, I got maternity leave, thank you, God. But they're stressing themselves out when they're giving birth to their babies. It's crazy. It's just nuts everywhere. I can't stand it. But, anywho, I'm going to wrap this up, okay? I'm going to wrap this up. I will be on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I want to say 7 o'clock. Yes, tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Because, yeah, just because. I actually might come on at 6 o'clock, to be honest with you, because I don't have anybody at 5:30. So, but I'm going to be shooting for 7 o'clock, and we're going to work on the rest of factoring, but when our leading coefficient is not 1. So if it's a negative, if it's a positive, that's what we're going to be working on. Okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for the tapping. I will take the 77.5. I would take that. Okay? Hopefully, and for those that bought books and are thinking about buying courses, make sure we get everything done. Next, not this coming Friday, aka tomorrow, but next Friday, it's going to be a special episode. It's going to be a little special episode, but we're going to try to do something. Alrighty? Okay, everyone, have a lovely evening, and I will talk with you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye now.